run it back. Lost through the band, had to crawl back. Can't take no more L's, I need all that. Run off with the pack and get the dome crack. The 4 feel short, nigga 4 flat. Run it back, 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 run it back. Quit that little drop, now you hustling. They counted you out, now you bubbling. Took you some losses, but bounce back. Now they feeling for you like you good crack. Run it back, 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 run it back. Lost through the band, had to crawl back. Can't take no more L's, I need all that. Run off with the pack and get the dome crack. The 4 feel short, nigga 4 flat. Run it back, run it back, run it back, run it back, run it back.
Hello and welcome to episode 45 of the WarDawg Trail podcast. Today I have with us a special guest. He's a veteran. He's a firearms lover. He's one that fits right in with this latest series of guests that I've been highlighting that are doing amazing things in either the military, outdoors, or the hunting fields, and I would like the rest of the world to know about. So, without further ado, I bring to you Call Sign. Oh, wow. Look. I bring to you Call Sign. Go ahead and say it for me.
Buster Wolf.
There we go. Oh my gosh. Oh, I just said it and I lost it at the tip. I lost it. My bad. I'm sorry about that. All right. I bring you the one and only Call Sign, Buster Wolf from Smart Tactical LLC. Mr. Buster Wolf, welcome to the show.
I appreciate you, sir. Hey, Sean Ward, I appreciate you. Truly blessed to be on your show, and I've been a fan for over a year and some change, watching you from overseas. So, and you're doing great stuff in the community, brother. Thank you for having me. I'm honored.
All right. I appreciate that. I really appreciate that. That's low. I don't really get a lot of feedback, so whenever I can get it to know something to fix, change, that's what it is. But also, Buster Wolf happens to be here while we are rolling out season 2. You will notice I finally have a new setup, something a little more professional, a little stylish, a little more modern than what I was using with Zoom. So we do have a new setup, and Mr. Buster Wolf from Smart Tactical LLC is the gentleman to be the first guest with the new setup. All right, now Buster Wolf, if you don't mind, let us know where you're from and a little bit about your background before the military.
So I'm from a little small city in Maryland called Law, which is in Prince George's County. Pretty much born and raised out there. Prior to the military, I was just your average child, did the little, hang around, which wasn't really interested in anything except for, kid stuff. High school graduate, 1991, and then decided, I think it was like right at the end of Desert Storm, I went into the military and been serving off and on. Had a 10-year hiatus and came back in 2004 and carried out to 2022.
All right. Now, I'm sorry, I should have introduced you and led with it, but where did you, where are you located now so the listeners know?
So right now I'm in Southern Colorado. I'm in Fountain, Colorado, which is in El Paso County, right next to Colorado Springs.
All right. Okay. So, tell us now, if you don't mind, which year you joined the military and why you decided to join the Army, your particular branch.
So my first enlistment was April of 1992. So I'm dating myself right there. So now y'all can kind of figure out how old I am. Joined in 1992. I did a 2-year contract as a 62 Bravo, which is a construction equipment. So I was a mechanic with the Ordnance Corps. I did 2 years in Bitburg, Germany with a 5788 Air Defense Artillery. And the reason why I joined the military the first time is that after I graduated high school, I wasn't really too sure about if I wanted to attend college. And I didn't want to hang out on the streets. So I figured I would do something to better fit myself, learn a trade, learn a skill, get some education behind me and something I could use later on in life. After my 2-year contract, I got out in like 95. I decided to go to school for a little bit. And then 9/11 happened, and I had a wild hair in me again. So I decided to go ahead and submit my paperwork. I came back in, and took a while, but I came back in 2004. And then I came back in the same thing, 62 Bravo. But this reason I had a little bit different, more incentive. I was more so fighting for the freedom that I thought that myself and the other Americans well deserved.
Right
I
on.
had a family at that point in time, so
Right on.
definitely was fighting for the freedom, man. It was definitely like it wasn't about me anymore at that point in time. And then I came back in 04, deployed in 2005 to Ramadi from 05 to 06, and then from 2010 to 2011 to Shindan, Afghanistan. Couple other rotations, Romania, Poland, and then just recently retired in 2022. So
Congratulations! All right,
about.
congratulations. How many years again?
22 years.
All right, congratulations! 22 years straight up, served for the country.
Thank you.
Blood, sweat, and tears, sacrifices. That's all you. That's the lifestyle that not many men or women can handle, mentally or physically. Yet you did it for 22 whole years, bro. I'm talking to a certified boss. That's why I brought him on the show. That's why I had to bring him on the show. That's all. That's what I'm all about. I believe we're not being recognized enough, and I'm here to do the recognizing. So salute on that.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. There are a lot of us out there, though. There are a lot of us out there that stay. So and from one vet to another, like I said, I appreciate your service. For things that you've done, and continue to do in the community for veterans. That's what's up.
All right. That's what's up, boss. That's what's up. Thank you. Now, when you fell into this love with your love of firearms, will you tell me, was this something that had been like a lifelong love, or did it come up while you were in the military, or what really pushed you to say, this is what I want to be my hustle, this is going to be my bread and butter, and this is what I want to go after?
Well, you're right. It came from while I was in the service, and less than roughly 8 years ago, around 15, I took a step back, and I'm like, I'm coming from a support element. Like I said, I'm ordnance, so we do a lot of logistical, log pack runs and convoys outside the wire, supporting other, combat MOSs. And it just got to the point where I'm like, we're not really trained. The Army doesn't really train.
There it is.
Soldiers. Doesn't train as soldiers unless you are combat MOS, or tier 1 or something. So I took it upon myself to seek outside training, and just perfect what I needed to perfect. Get better.
And paid for it.
A tool I had to use it. Yeah.
And paid for it? Okay.
Yeah, I took some classes. I paid out of pocket to take some classes. I took some classes.
Exactly.
While I was in Texas.
I'm just trying to show the dedication. I'm trying to show what it meant to you.
Yeah, definitely paid for some classes. Rifle training, pistol training. And it just, and then I took what I learned and tried to show other soldiers who were, within the ranks, like, hey, there's more to it than the standard 20 in the prone position, and prone supported and prone on us. But there's other things out there that we need to, get in our toe. That's when I really started taking it serious, and started taking as many classes as much as I could.
Where were these classes? Where are some of the places you were taking classes? I mean, I
So
don't
I've
mean
taken
the name of
classes
the
when I
building.
was in.
I don't mean the name of the
Oh
business.
no. Well, when I was, yeah. So at this Rod and Gun Club, they have shooting seminars out there. When I was stationed in Fort Bliss, when I was stationed in JBLM, Lewis McCord, people that own private land out there that were classes. Roderick Mance, he's with technologies. I'm not really sure if that business is going on. This is back in like 2015. He's with Division West Technologies. He's a former Ranger. A couple of pistol classes with him. And since I've been here in Colorado, we shoot with Magnum. It's a small range Magnum shooting academy, shooting center. And we also every 2 weeks we do what they call a freestyle, and they allow you to run a gun with the skills that you have, but there's courses that you have to take in order to get to that standard. So we have to take a basic safety course, and you have to take a draw from the pistol course. Draw from the hip course, defense level 1, 2, and 3 rifles. So yeah, and I'm still taking classes. I have a Stop the Bleed course that's coming up here soon, next month.
Really? All right. So, needless to say, you have all kinds of certificates and awards everywhere when it comes to you gaining more knowledge and about more subjects that can help you in your day-to-day operations, right?
Yeah, they give you certs for like you'll get a certification per class. Some classes they don't. They'll just say, hey, thanks for coming out. God bless, good night. But those are usually your courses that kind of like crawl, walk, and lead into other courses or whatever. So not everything is done.
Gotcha. That's as expected. I just meant I know how it is, when you're tracking all those hours and the different locations, and next thing you know, you start building a little pile of awards and certificates and everything else, and that's what it's all about to me. That shows you set
Yeah,
out for a
I have my
task and completed it.
oh yeah. So I have my own civilian love me book now that I keep my stuff in. So yeah.
That's what's up. Now, if you don't mind, walk us into your very first steps after you decided that the gun lifestyle is what you are all about, and you started taking those initial classes. What along the way kind of led you to take it that next step?
I think once I built my first rifle, and I took a rifle course, and I realized, what I was missing, as far as like just basic body mechanics on moving, and what my, not really understanding that my body could do excessively more than what I was just, led to believe. Uh, I started worrying about fitness. That was the next step. I started worrying about my personal fitness, and in order to, move in some of these courses, your cardio, they start testing your cardio. They start testing not just your mental, but they start testing your cardio. So I started worrying about my physical fitness. So I started building myself up, more cardio, more activity, more workouts, hitting the gym, watching my diet. These are a lot of things that kind of go hand in hand, because you can have all the equipment in the world, but if you can't get it from A to B, it serves you no purpose. So I started working on that too. And that was the first step, watching, what I ate and stuff like that. And then I started taking other classes, not so much like, like getting myself involved with combatives. Because if I have to roll, if I get put into a situation where I'm like, okay, I don't have my weapons anymore, can I handle myself? Those type of courses started coming along, and I just made sure that the lifestyle that I was living was more on the positive, up and up. When you know better, you kind of do better, you know. And those are the type of things. That's the path that I was taking to try to like build up this resume, my personal resume, to get into firearms. I started listening to podcasts such as this and getting more weapons knowledge, buying magazines, reading about firearms, learning the different grains of ammunition, you know, different sights, different zeros at different yards and things. But trying to get better information as far as, like I said, what the Army teaches you. There's so much stuff out there that if you don't take the opportunity to learn something different, you'll be stagnant.
Okay. See, actually, you're my second guest to bring that up. I had another guest. They had a female from the Air Force. Her name was Jennifer Corzo with Live Fire Defense. And she had the same issue to where she deployed to Iraq. She was given a Beretta 9mm. She was given an M4. But she said she felt like her receiving it was more so just like a check in the box, you know, for the military, to say that they gave it to her and they sort of walked her through with it, because she knew that elsewhere other people were getting a little bit more tactical training. I mean, she knew that obviously that if she wanted to learn more, she was actually going to have to step outside of the military while she was in the military and pay.
Yeah.
And that's the dedication that I see.
It's surprising that you know, it's surprising when you just start inviting soldiers to come within your formation. Hey, meet me at this range here on Saturday, and I'll provide the weapons and I'll provide the ammo because I see something that you lack. You know, that's taking care of the people in your footprint. And that the airman that you were talking about, she's definitely right, because if it's just like, here's a crate of frag grenades and you don't know how to pull the pin, and you throw the pin and, you know, keep the grenade, and what are we doing? You know, we have to be better from the military side. We have to be better when it comes to training our soldiers. You expect them to fight, you expect them to have standards, but nobody gets into the ditches with them as much. Now, I'm only speaking for myself and my experiences. I can't tell, you know, whatever branches are doing, but from my experience, there's a lot of lack. There's a lot of lack in making sure that the soldiers understand that it's more than just pointing a rifle and squeezing the trigger. Those 4 fundamentals go out the window when heart rate's elevated, when, you know, that stress factor kicks in, and they're not understanding, you know, why my rounds not impacting, or, you know, I'm doing everything that I thought I was supposed to do, but it's not working. Okay, plan B. Plan B is you know, how to shoot on the move. You know, okay, you're not always gonna get that perfect shot. You have to work for that shot. And just real quick, what I learned is I've been watching a lot of competition shooters too. And I've been learning, you know, as far as like putting multiple rounds on target at a fast rate. And I'm trying to incorporate both from the tactic side, taking a set shot, but also putting multiple rounds from various positions, and you could blend the two. So I have no ill will or no hard feelings for the comp shooters out there. Shout out to all the comp shooters that are doing great things in this community too.
All right, now I'm gonna reveal to the world something here real quick, and I don't think I'm the only one that's gonna say it. It's like, even those of us that served in the military, there are some things that we still did not get a chance to get trained for properly, that it still leaves me wanting to pick up some of those skills that I never got to acquire. And I'm gonna be real with you. Now, my first 2 tours in Iraq, I carried the M249. So everyone knows, in the grand scheme of things, having that automatic fire takes priority over learning, you know, your pistols, your secondary weapons. So as a matter of fact, when I went to Iraq, I didn't have both a pistol and my saw. No, all I had was that saw. So that means I was a little pissed off that the Marine Corps never took the time to take me to a pistol course. They never took the time to walk me through all these great, amazing things with the pistol and how to work that pistol. So what I had to do was, I used to come in on the weekends, and I'd go to some of those private. I would say on base now, so don't get me wrong there. I didn't have to pay, but I would use the ranges that they had, and then on weekends they let you come with your personal weapons. And I went out there and I hit the ground with some of the same techniques that I would need from firing an automatic weapon like the M249 to firing handguns. I figured I could, as long as I applied the basic principles, you know, the breathing, the stance, the positioning, the recoil management. And it took longer than I wanted to for me to be exactly where I'm at. But eventually I got there. So even I even say that, even as a grunt man, having been to Iraq 3 times on the front lines, I was never pistol qualified. Never had a pistol badge. Was never taken to any pistol ranges or even asked if I wanted to go. And, that's how it is sometimes.
It's the truth, though. I mean, you are telling the facts. That, you know, sometimes from the outside, where you know individuals are led to believe, oh man, you can handle anything we give you, you should be able to manipulate, but not so. But that's dedication that shows that you had for yourself to make yourself better, and you know, and add more skills to your tool bag to use later. Taking that time out, that self motivation to get out there and do the right thing on your time.
Right on. Now, I want to know a little bit about your top 3 firearms, your top 3 favorite firearms. Just if you shoot off the top of your head, what are your top 3?
My top 3 firearms. Well, for a handgun, I'm kind of biased. So I love SIGs. I've been running the P320 platform outside the military, inside the military. I actually have an M18. That's my go-to. I do carry that. That's my EDC. I love it. It's modular. The platform is so modular. I mean, it's just about as modular as a Glock. So, and I know there were some problems, you know, with the trigger, and you know, people saying that they fire. I haven't had any since. I haven't had any. And I'm just gonna hope it stays that way. But for pistol, I'm gonna say the P320, SIG P320. Long rifle. I don't want to get in trouble because I mean, there's so many brands out there that you can go to. Daniel Defense, you know, Aero Precision, you can get the Stag Arms. But right now I'm running the Aero Precision M4 or M1A. And I like it. I enjoy it. That's in the 300. I got a chamber in 300 blackout, which is not the most common round, but I like it for its capabilities and what it has.
Yeah, you're paying a pretty penny for the nice quality of the blackout, but it's worth it.
Yeah. Every time I squeeze the trigger, I'm like, $1.25, $1.25.
Oh yeah.
You know,
oh yeah.
Like, and that's my primary rifle too. But you know, I do have a 5.56. I do have a 5.56. But 223 5.56 as well. And that's what I call my. I know I'm gonna catch some flack, but I'm open. That's what I call my a little poverty pony, because I built. That was my first rifle that I built, so I was kind of on the budget. But it's held its own. I mean, I've had it for quite some time. I've had it for over a decade, and I mean, no jams and no issues. So it's running good. As far as another firearm, I would say maybe an exotic. I like that. I've shot it. I like the CZ Scorpion. I think that firearm has a lot of potential. I mean, if you want to reach out and touch somebody with it, you can. But as far as CQB, I mean, it's almost along the lines of something from HK. that you know, easy maneuverable, compact, lightweight, toteable, concealable, and yet if you need to, to put in work with it, you can. So those three definitely: a P320, Aero Precision for my personal build, and the 300, and the CG Scorpion. And I mean, preferably chambered in 9mm. That way I can just cross. I don't want to have so many calibers floating out there of ammo.
Gotcha. That was actually about to be my next leading question was, what do you prefer in terms of ammo? And I'm going to be honest with you, all right? I'm a 45 man, but that is only because during the war, I happened to see individuals take 9mm to the head and still live. All right? So I'm not getting into anything about gore or destruction or anything like that, but there's something that occurred to me early on and told me I believe that 45 is that man dropper for me.
No, I agree with that. I do have a 1911. I have a 1911.
Okay.
And 45 ACP. That's more of like what I'm trying to use now to try to break the stigma that you can't use a 1911 so much in competition shooting. There are some leagues that only carry 45. They only want you to carry a 45. So I'm trying to get better at the 45. The recoil management is a little bit more demanding, I would say, than a 9mm, which is next to nothing almost. I do prefer those 9mm, and I don't know. I really couldn't tell you why. It's. I don't think it would even be cost, because most of my ammunition I get are remanned anyway, or I have individuals that make ammo or friends. So it's not so much that. I just think that the capacity. Someone would say, the capacity. I know that there are some companies out there like Wilson Combat that would, they make extended magazines, 10 rounders, for 45 ACP, and then of course you have the 2011s now that are out. But most of them that I've seen, such as like the Prodigy or the Staccatos, are in 9mm, and I think they're kind of like going away. I don't think it's a dead ground. It's definitely not a dying caliber. 45 is going to be here. I mean, everyone, what awards now.
Yeah. Ain't going nowhere, bro.
and the other thing is, a lot of people, when you think about it, what's the caliber that they always compare to a 308 at distance? It's like getting shot with a 45 at point blank range. They always say a 308 is like it. So it's not going anywhere, bro.
Yeah. I gotta be really with my because I've never mentioned this before ever on the air. Ever. I don't know, never did, but you made me think of it and bring it up. Is since I've gotten out of the war, we've got phased out of military service and any active threats like that, I still love the 45, but I've chosen to drop down to a subcompact version. So for me, the Glock 30, bro, the Glock 30 is a 45 that holds 10 rounds, and it does exactly what I'm looking for. It's still since it's subcompact and not that full size, you got all kinds of great opportunities to place it on your ankle, place it under your on your shoulder rigs, or and obviously whether it's inner waistband or outer waistband. When it comes to having it on the hip, I don't know. I just find it so much easier if I were in any type of active shooter situation. That's about where I would be. Where do you feel about concealed carry? What is that? Is that still your favorite for your concealed carry?
I'm on appendix. I'm concealing 9. Like I said, my 20, I'm concealing it. I do appendix. That's comfortable for me. I say it's comfortable for me because I train. I do maybe say at the 3 o'clock or the 4 o'clock position, so I do train more appendix carry for me. And I'm a big advocate of concealed carry. I live in a state that you can open carry, And I see a lot of people open carrying because they don't have to go through a certification class. They don't have to do the concealed carry course or put the time in, and it's easier for them. I just see loopholes when I see that, though, because you kind of setting yourself up for, you no longer have the element of surprise. If you were to try to be if you were engaged in an active, shootout or active shooter situation, and that shooter spots you from, a couple, like 50 yards away, your element of surprise is gone.
Right. And speaking of which, obviously we just had this recent mass shooting in Maine, and I don't know if there was any message you could give to anyone in this day and age with all the active and mass shootings we've been having. What would you tell a young person who's trying to decide, oh man, like guns are scary to me, but the way these things keep happening, should I get a gun? Should I learn to carry a gun? What would you tell a young person that was trying to?
I think the best thing to do is, is an evaluation, a self-evaluation. I know a lot of people that look at firearms as a bad thing, whether it be, certain demographic or, whatever just causes those people to say, hey, I don't want to have a firearm. I'll just let, local law authority or my neighbor or somebody deal with it. My call to that is that I'm not going to have time to wait for the police. I'm not going to have, and I'm not going to get political. I don't want to get political. I don't have time to wait for the police, and I don't have time to wait on anybody else to come to my rescue. We hear it all the time. Nobody's going to save you. So get educated on, first get educated, before if you're on the fence and you're not sure if you want to get a firearm, get educated on what your local, state laws have to say about owning a firearm. And then once you, get educated, visit a local range, visit a local firearms range. There's too many firearm ranges in this state. I live alone, just in this city. There's like 5 I could go to. And if you have no knowledge of it, get that education, go to a range, seek training before you even consider thinking, I'm going to go get a concealed carry. Seek some training. There's plenty of firearms ranges that will loan out or rent the firearm. That way you can understand the mechanics of the weapon system. You know how to load. You know how to, the basic ownership of a firearm. And then if you decide to take that plunge and you purchase your first firearm, continue to seek training. Continue to seek training. Take courses. Take multiple courses. Get your concealed carry along with those once you feel comfortable. But I don't want to sound like that guy, but in this day and age, there are multiple people in my family that have their concealed carry. And I'm not gonna run out and be like, hey, this gun nut, that's not what I am. But I do feel that I have innate sense to protect myself and my family. And I think everybody has that privilege, to protect themselves. There's too many times we see that, some person decides to, act out in violence, and there's nobody there to stop them because either state laws or, even store policies. Hey, you can't have a firearm in here. Well, that person who has the firearm didn't even read that sign, nor were they concerned with it.
Right on.
So get that training. Get the training. It's important. I'm not advocating for violence. I don't advocate for violence, but I do advocate for self-defense.
All right. You came on the show spitting straight knowledge and truth, and that's why I wanted to bring you on. I know you have an insight and a wisdom, and I tell you what made me a fan was when I initially saw some of your dry fire videos. You take yours quite seriously, and I love the way you're natural about it, because everybody, you know, we get into our smooth flow, but sometimes if you make a mistake, I love that you just carry on with yours and you just keep rolling like it would be in a real world situation. You know, we all have those times. Maybe you don't pull your shirt up high enough, or you didn't make that certain time that you wanted to. But the way you do it, or you drop a mag, but you just continue on, and it's amazing. And that's what, you know, let me know about your dedication and why I became a fan. So, ladies and gentlemen, this has been episode 45 of the WarDawg Trail. I've had Buster Wolf from Smart Tactical LLC on the show for us as I roll out my continuing new series of individuals who are standing out in the military, outdoors, and especially the hunting fields. And being a gun enthusiast, Buster Wolf fit that tab to the T. All right. I'm going to run us out with the outro, bro. Thank you for coming on. It's been a blast.
Hey, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. And again, hey, for all those who are watching or will be watching this, support Son of WarDawg TV. Again, this brother, this Marine, he is doing great things in the community, of the 2A community, also with the veterans community. Give him a like, give him a follow, subscribe to all his platforms, and support him. He's doing great things. Brother, I love you. I appreciate you. And I hope I can make myself down to Florida one day.
All right.
So I can get out there and we can do some training, bro.
All right. That sounds like a plan, brother. That sounds like a plan. All right. Thank you. And for the sake of the show, you just hang on until after the video finishes. All right, boss. Salute.
Salute.
Run it back, 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 run it back. Lost through the bed, had to crawl back. Can't take no more L's, I need all that. Run off with the pack and get the dome crack. The folk feel short, nigga folk flat. Run it back, 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 run it back. Quit that little drop, now you hustling. They counted you out, now you bubbling. Took you some losses, but bounce back. Now they feeling for you like you good crack. Run it back, 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 run it back. Lost through the bed, had to crawl back. Can't take no more L's, I need all that. Run off with the pack and get the dome crack. The folk feel short, nigga folk flat. Run it back,